Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Cable. So the thing is, I sat down to reread some classic Cable issues from the late 90s, more specifically 1998 to 1999. This fantastic compilation book. This is during the Joe Casey, Omar Ladron era of Cable. And so we're going to talk about issues 59 to 70. I'm going to tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like about these issues. I remember way back when these came out, I was like 17 years old. I really loved this run. But the thing is, when I reread them during this past weekend, at least the writing, it just really let me down. Like the stories, I felt like they were pretty mediocre. There's a lot of filler. There's some really good moments in these issues, but they're few and far in between. But on the other side, like Omar's art is just fantastic. I love how evocative it is to Jack Kirby's classic style. And I just really love the details, the way he works the action, stuff like that. He does a really good job. So the first story arc is called The Nemesis Contract. And the story arc is like 4 issues long. I feel like they could have done it in 2. And like the first part is pretty good. Like S.H.I.E.L.D. is out to capture Cable. There's a special agent called Agent 18 who's out there. He's like, his main mission is to capture Cable. And like the whole story arc is just here to beef this guy up, like to build him up as a real badass. He's able to hold his own against Cable, who's like a totally awesome fighter. Because the thing is, this guy's going to become Deathlock, like the 3rd or 4th incarnation of Deathlock further down the line. And he's going to be part of the M-Tech era of Marvel, where they really tried to build up technological characters like, as I mentioned before, Deathlock. I can remember the other X-51, well, Machine Man, and Warlock. All those titles fizzled out really fast, and the origins of that Deathlock actually start in this brief story arc. So, like the first part, it's pretty cool. We have the battle between Cable and this guy. Like Cable's powers are sort of on the fritz because he would have been totally able to defeat a normal human in 2 minutes, if not the case. So the thing is, Cable gets captured, and like when he's in the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, we discovered like this evil scientist that wants to do experiments on Cable, create these really evil cyborgs that end up attacking S.H.I.E.L.D. and taking over the helicarrier. But the thing is, like when I reread this, like I started skimming through pages and thinking like, there's too much filler, man, this is too long. Like, look at all the dialogue for such a crappy story. Like, it's not really that interesting. Look, you have to read a ton. So, after this story that never ends, look, it's really just too long. We get a crossover with X-Men. The Cable series crosses over with X-Men, issues 46, X-Men 46 and 47. And it's to battle Strife, like Cable's arch enemy. This only takes place in 3 issues. This should take place in 6 at least. Like they were really building up to this crossover, or to the confrontation between X-Men and Strife, and Cable and Strife. And I feel like they really dropped the ball. The storytelling is really choppy. Like you have the Dark Riders, these minions that I really love. They're like evil Inhumans. Nobody remembers that detail. You have this really interesting character called the Witness, a mysterious character from the future of the X-Men that was really building up the story with visions and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, the whole story is just a letdown. The story, as I said before, the storytelling is really choppy. It's all over the place. It feels really rushed. And it's a real shame. Especially, it's like a wasted opportunity. It should be fantastic to see Cable battle it out against Strife, but you feel cheated after reading the story. And the whole part where Strife's Citadel destroys Doctor Doom's castle and stuff like that, and he tries to take over Latveria. It's like, oh man, that really didn't work for me, at least. So after this story, we have issue 64, which is one of the few times I've ever seen such a comic book so shamelessly filler. Like, there's no story. They go tell Cable's story, but there's parts where there's no dialogues. There's only stuff written on the sides. And I never seen something so lazy in my life. I've only seen one other comic book do something so lazy like this. Like, this is just shameless filler. Look at this. Like, the only redeeming quality of this particular comic book is this awesome illustration of Apocalypse. Here, Omar Ladron does a fantastic job. Just look at that. But it's a waste not putting it in a good story. So after this, that was terrible. We get another filler issue, but at least it's fun. We have Cable having to battle it out against this like acid droid that was created by the Tinker. And then after that, we have finally a good story where we have the return of Apocalypse Harbinger. This guy is like the herald of Apocalypse. We're about to reach the year 2000. We're about to reach a story that Marvel had been building up, which were the 12 of Apocalypse. They were building up that story for more than 10 years. So the start of to kick off the story, we have this Herald of Apocalypse. He's going to arrive to New York City and just try to level it. And this particular story is pretty good because there's a ton of action, but we also get, so we have Cable battling out against this guy, the Harbinger, who totally looks like he was inspired by the Borg from Star Trek. It's like he's a shameless copy at moments. But we get the first team up between Cable and the Avengers, and this is like pretty kick-ass. Because obviously, we show off with the Avengers is that this Harbinger dude is like tough. He's like impossible to stop. He's like more powerful than the Juggernaut, for example. And so the battle they can't stop him. Thor tries to teleport him away. Harbinger finds his way back to Earth. It's total and utter chaos. We have Apocalypse like sort of taking up on Harbinger. It's like destroy as much as you can, call the weak and stuff like that. So this particular story, as I said before, this one I liked. And then after that, the two issues that follow, 69 and 70, at least for me, they weren't my cup of tea. I didn't like them. I'm not going to say they were shameless fillers, but they felt really weak. So I hope you guys like this video. Like as I said before, the only issues that are worth, at least for me, worth a while to read are issues 65, 66, and 67. Outside of that, the rest is, it's not the best. I'm not going to trade this away because I really like Omar's artwork. But Joe Casey, in this, at least, he was pretty mediocre. So, see you guys next time. Bye.